A woman in Australia was denied boarding a 3-day birthday cruise with her baby. And well, Carnival's defending the decision. Let's chat about it. Hey, what's going on, Adventure fam? Welcome back to the show and welcome back to the channel. I am your esteemed host, Eric, and I'm going to take this first 10 seconds to tell you to go subscribe. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and we need you as part of the Adventure fam. And go ahead and hit that notification bell so you know when we post new videos. And go ahead and drop a like because you know you're going to love the content I'm about to bring you. And we've got a good story for you today, so let's jump right in. Now, you may have heard me in the beginning of this video talk about how a woman and her baby were denied boarding, and while technically that is true, here is the exact story that is happening right here in Brisbane, or is it Brisbane, Australia, with Carnival and this guest. So apparently this guest's mother has booked a 3-day cruise for this woman's birthday. They were going to go celebrate her birthday, have a nice good birthday bash. I'm assuming other family, other friends, things like that were going to be on board as well. Well, the woman went to board the ship and was denied boarding. And the reason being is she was 2 weeks past the allowable date for being pregnant. So the woman is 26 weeks pregnant, or was 26 weeks pregnant at the time. And Carnival has a strict and stern policy that you can only be up to 24 weeks pregnant when you're boarding one of their ships. Now, naturally, the woman and her mom thought they were actually kidding. They didn't really think they were serious. Come to find out, they were serious, and they were denied boarding, or at least the woman who was pregnant was denied boarding, and all chaos ensued from there. Now, the woman in question is Kaylee Farrington, who was turned away, like I said, for her 3-day birthday bash with her family on board the Carnival Luminosa. Now, naturally, Kaylee thought that they were kidding at the terminal, but they were not. And they basically informed her she should be more well informed of the terms and conditions of which Carnival has laid out for pregnant women who are going to be boarding their ships. And essentially what that states is that you cannot be more than 24 weeks pregnant if you're going to be boarding one of their ships. And that is essentially their policy. They are strict. They are stern about it. Now, Kaylee actually had doctor's clearance from her doctor. But nonetheless, Carnival says, no bueno, no good. You're not coming on board. And that's it. That's our policy. Now, Kaylee's mother, who paid for the cruise, is being denied a refund based upon the terms and conditions laid out in the Carnival contract when they booked the cruise itself. Now, she thinks it's discriminatory given based upon airlines allow you to fly up to 28 weeks. And so she thinks it's discriminatory against women that it is cut off at 24 weeks. But nonetheless, she also thinks that when you're booking the cruise, it should also be in big, bold letters right there when you're booking that this is the policy, and they shouldn't put it in fine print for you to have to go and find with the magnifying glass. Now, the policy that Kaylee's referring to and that Carnival is referring to states the following. Any guest who has entered or will at any time during the cruise enter the 24th week of estimated gestational age in her pregnancy agrees not to book a cruise or board the ship. Now, the policy goes on to state further, due to the limitations of medical care both on board and in various ports of call, women who have entered and exceeded the 24th week of pregnancy at any time during the cruise will not be allowed to board or set sail with the ship. Now, that is the verbiage that is used when you're going online to book your cruise through Carnival in the fine details, in which most of us never even read. But nonetheless, that is what it says, and it has you acknowledge that you've actually read the terms and conditions. You know, when you scroll and you're just scrolling, and we all just scroll to the bottom and hit I acknowledge. Well, I'm assuming that's probably what happened because most of us don't read it. Nonetheless, right, that is what they have you acknowledge before you finalize your payments and finalize your booking of your cruise. And that's exactly what Kaylee and her mother did. They acknowledged it, and that was the end of it. That was them acknowledging the terms and conditions which Carnival has set forth, and that's what Carnival is sticking with. So Carnival technically is right to stand on their ground to say, look, we're not giving you a refund. You should have read the terms and conditions. You should have been well aware before, knowing that you're pregnant, looking up the rules of can I travel, right? Now, I don't know exactly how Carnival knew that she was 26 weeks pregnant. I'm not exactly sure, but nonetheless, insurance, travel insurance, this is why it's so important to make sure you have a good travel insurance plan. I don't know, and it's not known of whether Kaylee and her mother have travel insurance or what kind of, if they have it, or what kind of plan they have. However, making sure you have a good travel insurance plan in place, that $150 maybe could have saved you, this headache of trying to get a refund from Carnival. But, I don't know whether or not they have that or not. And so this is a message to everybody out there. When you are paying the kind of money you pay to go on a cruise, now, albeit a 3-day cruise probably isn't extremely expensive, and depending on the ship and things like that, but anytime you're spending a good amount of money to go on travel, you never know what's going to happen. So if you're afforded the opportunity to buy travel insurance at a reasonable rate, you should do it. It's just a safeguard in case something happens. You don't know if somebody's going to get sick. You don't know if somebody's going to get denied boarding. You don't know anything, right? If your bags are lost, whatever the case may be, right? It's nice to have an insurance policy behind you to make sure that puts you a little bit at ease, I should say, if something does go wrong. Now, while we may feel bad for Kaylee, there is a reason why cruise lines, and I will tell you, all the other cruise lines, most of them have a policy similar to what Carnival's is. And there's a reason for that. There is not specialized care on board these ships. There's not specialized gestational care on board these ships. And certainly, depending on the ports of call that you're going to, the hospitals and the healthcare system are not things that you're probably going to want to partake in or have an emergency. Those are definitely not the systems that you want to probably going to, especially in a situation where you're dealing with a baby or infant that potentially could be born into this world. The last thing you want to do is end up in a port of call where you can't get the right care and something happens to not only the baby but to the mother as well. And so there is a good reason for it. Unfortunately, it's not, to me, it's not discrimination against women. Different companies have different policies on travel, and they each see it differently. And they, I'm sure they kind of discuss all of these things with their legal teams and things of that nature to make sure they have a robust policy to cover every aspect. And so, while it is unfortunate, hopefully they can get their refund, and hopefully they got insurance and they can kind of recoup the cost. That's it's not Carnival's fault that she was denied boarding. It's really up to us as individual guests and passengers to make sure we understand the rules, to make sure we understand the policies, the terms, the conditions, and everything in between, especially when you have a special circumstance like this. So let me know down below, what do you think about the story? Do you think Carnival is doing the right thing by denying a refund? Is it on the Carnival Cruise Lines, or is it on the passenger? In my opinion, it's on the passenger, and might be an unpopular opinion, but that's mine. And that is the story for today. Hope you enjoyed. Drop a like and get us to 1,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. So we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.